This is Final Fantasy Tactics All Archers Challenge. We are heading up to Grog Hill, having beaten Ygraf back in Orban Monastery. Grog Hill is another defeat all enemies kind of battle with a bunch of human units. And it's going to be about, as so many battles have been in this run, distributing the hits, distributing the damage. We've got some other ranged attackers here in this battle. We also have some fast units in this battle. So we've got a good mix against a balanced party. We just got to outsmart them. So you can see 2 squires, a couple of chemists, an archer, and then a female thief who's going to be wreaking havoc on our male party members. This battle took a couple of attempts to try out the setup, mostly just keeping everybody alive. That's the key, is surviving with everybody alive until about the 3rd round is the goal here. Just because we're outnumbered and outgunned with six characters, and those chemists, I believe, do have guns, so they can start popping us almost right away. So those chemists are a dual threat to heal and revive their party members. They also can get into position and start taking shots at us almost right away. And with archers, it just seems to be when you're at an appropriate level. Seems like archers are good for about 2 or 3 hits of whatever enemies are doing. When you got knights, you're good for about 2 hits. If you've got weaker enemies, guns and arrows and things, you've got about 3 in you. When you're against some of the bossier enemies like Ygraf with the Knight Sword abilities, then you're good for about 1.5 attacks. So you take 1, and then whatever comes at you next is going to take you out, even if it's a rather weak attack. So doing a lot of tile counting here, and looking at heights, looking at my differential there, trying to get into position. I'm trying to draw more enemies down towards us. And indeed, he does have a mithril gun, which is quite a nice little weapon. If you're a chemist, quite a nice little weapon. He's got a nice crossbow. Next level crossbow, damage of 5. And I'm checking my charge chart. You'll see I'll get this one off before they all get their turns again, because they were on the faster side, many of them. So we are going to go after that chemist, because he is going to be an immediate threat to all of our enemies, or all of our units. And again, we're maximizing the efficiency of our actions with charges. Trying not to leave anybody charging when there's enemies who are going to move into a place and attack them. And Agrius is able to get a charge off. She's got nice damage with that unit, with her charge. And my other archer moving into place, hoping for the ability to use it, but unfortunately she is lower than Agrius there, and that height differential is enough to knock her out of range. So you can see Agrius is standing on that platform there, up on a step, 1 height higher, and Christy is at ground level, unfortunately, so that 1 difference in height was enough to do it. So he's going to charge on that chemist, and we are going to try to get that chemist out of here in the 1st round. Here's charge +4 on the squire. The squire's taking a couple of hits. That chemist is down, and they have a unit that is weakened, which makes me hope that their chemist is going to spend an action or 2 trying to heal him up rather than popping us with his own Ramanda gun, or his own mithril gun. But now we are fully engaged in this battle. There are no more pretenses of setting it up. There's no more walking around and establishing. He did throw a Phoenix down there, that other chemist. Rather than healing the weakened enemy, he went for a Phoenix down on the dead one. That's not all bad, because that dead one ate up an action of his. It will only take 1 more action of ours to clear it up. I need to just decide how I want to handle the rest of this down here. I've got a chemist up there who needs to go down. Absolutely. I've got a thief that's charging for an attack. She's going to have to go down eventually too. This squire is within 1 hit of dying. So I go for the squire there. The thief, I'm not quite as worried about. She's going to hit Agrius, but Agrius hasn't taken a hit yet. So I'm looking at how I can navigate this. I'm getting Ramza a little bit of a height advantage, or at least getting him on par with the enemies up there. And I will take out that chemist. So we have another dead unit. There's Agrius getting that hit. She does get the speed save, which is good. That helps her out a lot. So now I've got 4 of my units down there and 2 of theirs down there in the trenches with us. They have 2 ranged attackers up top. Although with the crossbow, that archer up there doesn't get quite the height advantage that we do with our own longbows. And she is going to go after that thief. We're spreading out a little bit. Rita, I think, is that thief. And I believe I mismenued that for Agrius. Looking back, you'll notice it looks like I made a very curious selection there, and I certainly did do that. I didn't look quite carefully enough at the unit I was attacking. And you're wondering why I'm presenting this to you in the video. Well, it was just a successful battle on this one, even with a mismenu there. Once I found out, or I kind of saw how taking out that first chemist helped me, that was kind of the key. Getting that first chemist. You can see I targeted my own unit there. Luckily, he was able to get a turn and move out. That was supposed to land on her head, on that thief's head. Instead, she's going over for another attack on Agrius, and she'll get her charge attack off again. Another speed save for Agrius. And again, my primary worry is that mithril gun in his hand. But by weakening him, I'm hoping that he's going to use his action to heal himself rather than to go on the offensive. With the chemist, Agrius getting really beat up over there, but she's able to actually tank a few decent hits. A couple hits from the thief and 1 from the squire there. So there's another Phoenix down. So now I have 2 very weak chemists. And both of my actors up there. Agrius is going to go down right here. They finally were able to gang up on her, get her down. So now the death clock has started. The death clock has begun for us. And so I do need to be extra efficient. I mean, as always, you always have to be efficient, but I'm trying to be as much as possible once your timer is going. Checking movement, and I'm checking where we can go. Counting tiles again. Where do I need to be to take out the enemies as quickly as possible? I never want a character out of position. I always want every character in position to take an action every round, which is not always possible, and I don't always execute it correctly. But I never want somebody to be standing somewhere or be out of range of the enemies. I always want to be able to keep that damage And again, especially when you have the death clock on, you change your tactics a little bit. You don't turtle up as much as we did earlier. Once you have a character dead, you do need to get up there and start piling on. Both chemists are down, so I need not fear the Phoenix down. The thief and the squire, not too much of a threat. That thief, I don't think, had Steel Heart, because I would presume she would be using it like crazy instead of coming over here and just trying charged attacks on my characters. Now, I know I can get a damage boost on her while she's charging. That was kind of a silly thing for her to do while charging. Unfortunately, I can't quite kill her with the charged attack before she is done charging. So we're going to go for the regular attack. She will get her charge off. Speed save, we've had good luck with those this battle. We've had good luck with our speed saves. So that thief is now 1 hit from going down. And she will indeed take the finishing shot. Now it's 4-on-2 with Agrius at a timer of 1. Luckily, they're not running away like they probably should be. If they really wanted me to abandon this battle, the way to do it probably would be to run away. Because moving into position like that, with us just standing up at the top, able to do attacks without having to move and get actions even more quickly, is kind of silly on their part. But hey, no one said this was always perfect AI in this game. I'm trying to decide how to maximize getting actions while he's charging, to see if I can actually get him out of here before that attack fires off. Now, if I move that archer into place, I can actually move him into the line of fire right there to eat that attack, rather than my female archer. I'm not so much worried about her going down. I'm really just worried about Agrius right there. So that's what I'm looking at. She can take a hit. She can take another attack and still be alive. Again, I don't worry if she goes down or not. It's really about killing these enemies as quickly as we can. So we do get him before the charge. And Ramza can indeed hit that squire. He will get a turn before any charge goes off, so we're just going to go for the 80 here. And now Agrius is 0, so this is all about killing him before Agrius' turn would roll up again. She's able to get 72 with a normal attack. Can she get him marked for death with a charge? She's going to go for the straight-up attack. When you see you have other characters moving before you, I think it's better to do that, because if you have a charge waiting to go off, Agrius could turn into a crystal while she's charging, when we didn't really need to. And I have an archer here, gets his turn, and is able to deliver the final blow of the battle. Agrius goes down, got to 0. It was close on that one, but not too tricky, not too tricky. So that was Grog Hill. And we are heading on, barreling right through Chapter 3.